Alright guys, welcome back to another Alliance War video. This is war number 8 of season 26, and today Poseidon is going up against an Asian alliance whose name I cannot pronounce, and I will not even try at the risk of completely butchering it. I wouldn't even know where to start, how to try and to pronounce it anyway, so let's check out our team. It's a pretty common team that we've seen several times. Human Torch, Dr. Doom, very common. They've pretty much been a staple in my team every war this season. And we're going to bring Archangel back in for the second time this season and hopefully get a little bit of revenge with him. He's my only death this season as an attacker. I dropped dead to a mole man with him, so we're going to see if we can get a little bit of revenge today. We're going to go path 6 in section 1, and then we will be staying on path 6 in section 2 actually. So that's a first for me this season, I believe, going 6 the entire way. Pretty standard stuff. Terax Boss is really cool. I think that's a very interesting boss, a little different. I'm always a fan of different. Thor Ragnarok on Power Gain, Dragon Man, Vision Arcist, Mr. Fantastic up there, pretty cool. Pretty decent placement. I would say it's pretty good. And unlike last war, we are going to be full of 6-star defenders today, so there are a lot of 6-stars on this map. I think I do have at least one 5-star fight, but our first one is going to be this Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is a 6-star, rank 3. He's on the Strike Back Aggression Fury node, and this is pretty easy stuff here. This is a Dr. Doom cheese fight for the most part, pretty much like any other Cosmic, so I was never really too worried about this fight. I did have trouble with an Annihilus here last war, but Cosmic Ghost Rider is not Annihilus. He is not nearly as good as a defender as Annihilus, in my opinion. So I've taken down so many Cosmic Ghost Riders this season in Alliance War. I don't know what the fascination is with placing him on defense. I guess he's just for diversity, but I would think you can come up with a lot better diversity placements than CGR. He's just such an awesome attacker, and really, I don't see the value or the merit in him as a defender. So anyway, we were just slow playing the first several combos. We just wanted to bait out the special one, which we did. We dexed the full thing because it was unblockable. And then we got to our third bar of power, launched the special 3, and then regular Doom cycle after that. Steal his power. We're just going to parry, steal some power, throw the special 3 again. And that's going to do it. Fight is over extremely fast. Dr. Doom, again, just, I don't think there's anyone who can debate his value. He is just so amazing for so much. Even as a 5-star, he just absolutely wrecks the game. So we take the CGR down in 43 hits, only took like 45 seconds. Pretty quick fight with pretty standard boosts. Not a big deal. So let's move on to a Cable, and this is one of the 5-star defenders I mentioned. So he's 5-star rank 5, Power Focus 1, Power Alternator node, decent placement. He is a large champion, which means that he benefits from the Protect Global. So that was the only thing that kind of had me worried with this fight, because I know Dr. Doom, when he criticals, it may not be very often, but when he does, he crits and hits insanely hard. So we're not going to stagger him because I don't want to heavy attack and risk critically on it. So we're just going to throw the special 1 to nullify his power gain buffs and his regen buffs that he may gain when he crosses a bar power threshold. But with Power Focus 1, you can see he's not really getting anywhere near that second bar threshold. So he's just kind of going to be sitting at like a bar power the entire fight. And we're just going to use our special 1 to steal it. And there you go. Once we steal that power gain buff, because my Dr. Doom is awakened, we actually get the buff, so it's just providing us with free energy gain, which just makes this fight even easier. I think Power Alternator gets me at some point. It steals my power and gives it to him, which fortunately didn't cause too much of an issue, but it definitely can. So far so good. We're about a minute into this fight. We're just throwing these special 1s to keep everything in check, and it doesn't hit that hard, so we don't have to worry about triggering the protection. That's ultimately why I'm not throwing my other specials. It's because I really did not want to trigger the protect. There was the Power Alternator. It stole my power, so he does actually get the 2 bars of power for the first time in this fight, but again, Our special one power drains it, gives it to us, so we steal some of his power. And then we actually do get to a special 2, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw it here because the fight's almost over, and we didn't trigger protect. Special 2 takes him down. Fight took about a minute and a half actually, which was surprising. I didn't think it would take anywhere near that long, but we get out of it with pretty much no problem. Really not a lot to concern ourselves with. And we move on to the middle section where we have a 6-star rank 3 Dr. Doom. And this shared node in the middle, this is the, power snack and backup recovery node. And I used to take this fight a lot actually in previous alliances. I'm pretty comfortable with it. Dr. Doom is pretty common placement here, I'd say. So we've got the Flame On pre-fight ability. We're going to use it here with our rank 3 Human Torch. Going to back out just to make sure the pre-fight's stuck. We also have a Mr. Fantastic pre-fight. A couple of them applied here, the Petrification Ray, and a White Magneto Guidance Boost. So we've got 3 different pre-fights placed. I play this fight pretty well. Because of Power Snack, a lot of people will advise removing Dexterity so that you can't trigger that buff that you get whenever you dex a special attack or a regular attack. So I'm going to get that buff right here. You can see Dexterity because I did not remove it. I think that's actually a mistake in a lot of cases on this node. So you can see the power gain that he gets from the buff I got and then from backup recovery. So he gets to 2 bars of power. I dex almost the entire thing. No big deal, very easy. And then we're just kind of going to wait for him to drop here. We're going to throw the special 2 and go in, and the stun is going to give us that extra little bit of time to nuke him down. So, fight took about 40 seconds. I was trying to get it done in under 30 hits, and we got it done in 28, I believe. So, pretty successful. Like I said, a lot of people take off the Dexterity Mastery so that you don't gain that buff, but again, without that Mastery, you wouldn't be able to dex Dr. Doom's specials, and they can hit pretty hard. So, I'm comfortable sacrificing the little bit of power gain for the damage that I am able to avoid by keeping it on. That's just my preference. That's what I've had success with there in the past. Obviously not the same for everybody, but for me, it definitely is worth the trade-off. So we're going to move into section 2 here, and boy, is this a boring fight. This is a Spider-Ham, a 5-star Spider-Ham. He's on the Rage node, and we're going to use Dr. Doom even though we have the class disadvantage. And you know, the plan is to just basically hit him and keep him staggered because we're obviously going to be triggering the Rage node. This little porker has such a low health pool that you're pretty much triggering the Rage node on like any hit where you critical. So we just have to keep him staggered. You know, he has a chance to evade. His porker popper debuffs and things he puts on you are annoying. But because I have the Willpower Mastery on, I'm able to just heal from these debuffs that he places on me, which is no big deal. Ideally, I want to bait his special 1. I do push him to the special 2 a few times like I did right there, but I'm fine taking that block damage because I know that those debuffs are coming back on me at some point, and they're just going to heal me up, so not a big deal. I never throw a special in this fight because it was maybe 1 or 2 seasons ago where I had a really, oh, he just kind of went unblockable and hit me there. That was a mistake. I went for more than a regular combo or 2-hit combo with the medium and the heavy. So my mistake there. But like I was saying, I had a weird experience against this dude in war maybe like 2 seasons ago where I didn't have any debuffs on me. I didn't have a Porker Popper debuff, and yet I was still getting like massively power stung from using specials. And I used a Professor X for that fight actually. And I threw specials when I didn't have any debuffs on me. I threw special 1, special 2, special 3, and on almost all of them, I received power sting damage, even though I didn't have a single debuff on me, which was annoying. And then one time when I threw it, I did not receive power sting damage from throwing it, so I don't quite understand how he works. Maybe it was a bug, I have no idea, but I wasn't going to risk it in this fight. I just wasn't going to throw a special regardless because I was terrified of that power sting damage, even if I didn't have a debuff on. So this fight got kind of sketchy there for a second because he didn't want to throw a special. and I had to back up across the entire map where I got backed into my corner there. Ultimately, I get out of it. He finally threw a special, and we're still at a full yellow bar of health now because of the debuffs and the willpower mastery. And we're just back to our medium, shock, passive stun heavy. And he's actually got a Fury because one of the times I hit him, I didn't have him staggered. So he has 1 Fury, but as long as he doesn't get to 5, he's not going to go unblockable, and it's fine. I can deal with it. It's just, you know, it's just such a boring fight, and I could have sped this up, but you can fast forward through it if you want. You can see I've taken like several hits to the face in this fight as well. He was like oddly aggressive. Every time I dexed out of an attack, he would like follow it up with another light or medium attack, and so he caught me off guard a few times. But like I said, I really wasn't worried about losing too much health. What I was worried about now was kind of the timer, actually, because we're at 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this fight, and fortunately he's now down to 11%, but I mean, we've been in this fight for almost 4 minutes, which against a Spider Ham is kind of a joke. That's kind of ridiculous to take this guy down in such a long fight. But ultimately, we do get the job done, and it took like almost 80 hits, I think. We get the full attack bonus. Obviously, that's what matters. Our health bar is like back up to 85% because of the willpower healing, so all those hits I took were pretty much for nothing. And yeah, we get out of a very boring fight with relative ease. So let's go ahead and move to our last fight on our path. It's the Aggression Prowess Power Focus 2 node, and it's a 6-star long shot, so he's pretty beefy. We're going to use Human Torch, obviously. We're still, you know, boosted with pretty moderate boost, I'd say, nothing over the top. We don't have our Flame on pre-fight, but you really don't need it here. This is pretty standard. I think I've said it before. I've gotten so used to fighting Longshot. He is like absolutely no big deal for me. I know his animations, his specials. And on this note, as long as you just hit him consistently and don't let the prowess stack up too much, you're going to be good. We actually get into our Nova form right here, which is great. Power Focus 2 is, you know, preventing him going to a Special 3. We're just going to take the Special 2 on the block there because we don't need Human Torch for another fight. We're going to throw our Special 2, stun him, knock him down. 45 seconds, very simple fight. Human Torch, again, just absolutely a beast, and there's so many Mystic Defenders in this game. He absolutely wrecks them and just turns them into piles of ash. Full attack bonus achieved, and we finish our path. So that is going to bring us to the mini-boss, and we've got Aloof in a fight. I think he's using his cable to take this Elsa Bloodstone. And I went ahead and checked where we were, because this was the next morning, day 2 of war, and we were way behind. This was a loss, no doubt about it. We still had a section to clear. We were waiting for the global to go down. So we're going to go ahead and try to finish off these mini-bosses, and then let Aloof go in for a boss fight, actually, once all the mini-bosses are down. So he managed to get the Elsa down. Nice job by Aloof there. And we are going to continue on to the Thor Ragnarok in the back corner. And this is why we brought Archangel. So this Thor Ragnarok is a 6-star at rank 3. He's on the Enhanced Special 2 Bias, and Increased Power Gain node. And, you know, I was so not concerned with this fight. Even if this war was close, I wouldn't have played this any differently. You know, we're just going to parry heavy the entire thing, as you do with Archangel. So we're just going to time our specials so that once his power gain triggers on the 20th hit, the special will end that power gain relatively quickly, so he won't gain hardly any power from it. We're just going to block a lot to get more poisons on him. We're never going to hit into him when the Neurotoxin stun kicks in. And right here, we time our special perfectly, but we had 4 Neurotoxins on him, which reduced his ability accuracy to 0 because we are an Awakened Archangel, and his power gain never triggered. And I was actually kind of surprised because it was my understanding that Thor Ragnarok's ability accuracy could not be reduced in regards to his power gain from triggering, but Archangel cannot have his ability accuracy reduced. Which means that the neurotoxins did completely shut down that ability, and I didn't need to time my special the way I did, but obviously I wasn't taking that chance. We get the full attack bonus in 31 hits, and that mini-boss absolutely melted away. Archangel gets his revenge. He is no longer 0-1 on the season now. He's now 1-1. So let's check out the battle group comparison now that the war is over. We, as a battle group 3, got the best of our opponents, and that is nice because the last few wars, our battle group, was really struggling. We were getting absolutely crushed by our opponent, but 3 deaths is a season best for this group, and a lot of credit goes out to our leadership, especially to our BG and Alliance leader Axe. He planned out these paths and these fights so insanely meticulously to make sure that we all had the best counters and the best options available, and it clearly shows because we had such a low death count. So kudos to him for sure. Really appreciate that work he puts in. Unfortunately, the news isn't all good. We got absolutely smacked around this war. Kudos to our opponents. They only died 9 times, and anytime you are in single-digit deaths, you've got a very good chance of winning an alliance war. But my God, I mean, we were approaching 30 deaths as an alliance, which is the worst we have done this season, and I think that might be the worst we did in the last 2 seasons as well. So that's a lot of deaths, unfortunately, way above our average, and not sure what to do to explain it. I mean, Battle Group 3 did really well. We were only 3 out of those 25 deaths, which is awesome, but, you know, this is a full alliance effort. This is a big team game, and 25 deaths is, I mean, that's just brutal. That is really tough. So maybe they had really good defenders, really good defensive placement. Not sure what it was. Maybe people were off their games. Kabam, obviously, could have had a part in that as well, with a few forced deaths as well, but who knows. We are now 4-4 on the season, now that we are 8 wars in, which is going to be rough. Again, I think we're probably going to drop out of this Platinum 1 spot. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough to tell with Kabam's algorithms, but we need to win these next few wars if we are going to have a chance of staying in Platinum 1. So we have to come up big, at least in these next, like, 2 or 3 wars. They're going to do or determine a lot for our future. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did, and we'll catch you in the next war video. See ya.